This is a good a day as any to start the rebuilding of life. The roads that lay open are many when the old one's gone under the knife. And I can feel the sun on my skin.
So I'm thinking we got this short little 3-pronger. I'm gonna run it up and over the rafters, and we'll plug in over where the light is, and that way we can plug in our air compressor plus whatever else we want here by the door.
That sounds good. So there are portions of this property, project, call it whatever you want, that seem a little overwhelming to me. There's just so much work to do here, and for some reason, like maybe in the past I did feel this way about our other properties that also had a ton of work to do, but I guess this one feels overwhelming because there's so much to be done. So anyway, I think one of the things that we really need to focus on coming up pretty quick is getting the driveway cleared out. We've got the shop largely organized. I mean, there's a lot of like little organizing stuff that needs to be done. But for the most part, the majority of the stuff is where it should be. We just have that fine detail organizing stuff of like putting all the screws here and all the screwdrivers there. Stuff is kind of in the general area of where it should be though. However, we have all of this stuff just sitting out in the driveway, and it's driving me crazy having it sitting here, but there's no place to put it, because what we need to do is we need to move the little garden shed to its future home, and we can't load that up with stuff until we do that. So all of these yard tools and the riding lawnmower, my garden stuff, all is going to go in there, but obviously we have to wait till we get that moved. So I think that's what we're going to tackle today.
A little less chaos look in our lives. So
yeah, that way you don't pull up and it doesn't look like the garage just threw up all over in the driveway. So we're gonna work on that today. The weather has finally broke. The heat has finally broke here. I think it's supposed to be a high of like 70 today and cloudy, which is amazing. So that'll be really nice. It's good conditions for working outside. We've mostly been focusing inside the house, but since the weather's gonna be so nice outside today, we're gonna work on that. If you've been following us for a while, you know that when we started our last house, we had absolutely zero, there's Robert up there. We had absolutely zero outside storage. So there was nothing beyond the little cabin there, except for we had this really tiny, what was it, like 5 by 5?
Oh,
the crusty shack?
Crusty shack? Yeah, probably 5 by 5.
So we had this little tiny shack. It was really heavy duty gauge metal. It was ugly as all get out, but it was handy because we used it as best we could. But that was all we had. I mean, it was like 5 by 5. So, and the doorway was like 24 inches wide or something. It was ridiculous. So that was the only outdoor storage that we had. And we tried lots of different things. We bought one of those tarp, like canopy storage garage things from Costco, and that worked for a little bit, and then the wind came and tore it to shreds. We've tarped stuff, for years we had nowhere to store outside stuff. So in saying all that, I'm excited because in this house we do have this 2-car garage shop area, and it has all of these, granted they're ugly, but cabinets where we can store tools and come and work on projects out of the weather, which is really nice because that was really, really difficult on our last place to deal with. So I'm really thankful to have this area to work out of, to organize our tools, to have a place to do stuff. So I'm really excited about that.
I'm gonna let the sun shine in today.
Doesn't say you can't sit on it, just not step on it.
I painted a good portion of our last house sitting on the top of that ladder because it was easier than standing on it for hours on it, especially when I was painting the porch and all that up overhead work, and it was just like, okay, rather than standing on this, I'm just gonna sit on the top of this ladder.
Oh, I will open up my eyes so I can see the spread my wings so I can fly. Oh, and the darkness starts to fade. Feels like things are gonna go my way. I'm gonna let the sun shine in the day.
So I'm excited to get this done because I feel like every time I drive up, I'm like, ugh, it looks terrible out here. So we're gonna get started, get working on this, and hopefully make some good progress today.
Meet me where the meadows grow by the water hole. Lucid dreams of you and me. Sky high, busy life, I wanna leave. Oh, muscle tight, early light, cleanse down jaw. Say my name or say it twice. Shed this layer of overthinking.
All right, we've got it picked up. We got the blocks pulled out, and then we got it sitting on some fence posts. So we're actually going to just rotate this whole thing sideways, and then we'll start backing it down over that way. That way the door will already be facing the way we're going. It should be fairly simple to kick it down the hill. Let's go on the longest journey far away. See elephants out in the wild. Forget every word we've ever known. Sunrise, sunset, hopes and dreams and regret. Now it's all the same. Call me out from my shadow self. It's time I can tell. I don't wanna be less than I can be. Waterfalls will wash me. Well, we're making some headway. We're working that way, but it might get rained out here. We got big old fat raindrops coming down. We'll see what happens. Good news is we got this thing tugged over here, kind of where we want it, over by where the future garden will be. The ground is fairly unlevel, as you can see in the picture. We figured we would just shim it up with bigger blocks in the front and back, but it's a little bit more so than we were expecting. So we went ahead and pulled it forward a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and grade behind it, but I think we're done for the day. We're both getting over a little bug that we had, so I think we're just gonna have to call it and come tackle this another day. All right, we have this little guy
up on blocks. It's a little higher at the front, sitting close to the ground at the back, just on a small block. Dug out a little bit of the back to kind of help level it because it was sitting really far downhill. And then we got our big level out and made sure we're level right now, which we are. So I'm going to be bringing in a bunch of fill dirt, and I'm going to kind of fill in some of this. And then we have a small pile of gravel that was left here, so I'm going to go rob some of that. That way we have an approach down and out for coming in and out with the lawnmower. Not sure how far we'll get on that tonight because we only got about a half hour to 45 minutes left of light, but we'll get started on it. But anyhow, I think that's probably going to do it for this video. We'll get this thing loaded up at another time, but for now, it's here, and we just got to get it finished being set up. Thanks, guys. Have a great one. See ya.